What's up, everyone? It's been a long time coming, but it's finally here. Secrets of the Tsum with Yoshi. This is gonna benefit mostly advanced gamers, but once you have enough experience with the game, you'll understand everything I'm talking about here. First, we're gonna go over general technical stuff, such as mailbox capacity. Tells you it only gets you 50, and then after that you're screwed, but it's a lie. It's all a lie. You can have as much mail as you want. You can hold it for as long as you like. And if you want some proof of that, here's something that's 644 days old. That just tells you how long I've been playing this game. Second one, heart capacity. It used to only show 999 hearts. Now, as you can see, it shows you how many hearts you actually have. There's probably a limit of maybe like 999,000 something. But as for now, you can see how many hearts I have. So, yeah, all you people that think I'm hacking out there, not a hack. Next one, skill bar filling delay. Whenever you pop a Tsum, it takes about 1 second before it actually gets into your skill bar. That's very frustrating sometimes. Skill conservation. There are going to be times where you only need 1 or 2 to activate your skill, but you end up having to do 3 or more because you can't do anything less than 3. So in the event of that, you can do a long chain, and then the moment your skill reaches its activation point, you use it right away. And then everything else after that will be used to fill up for the next skill. Not always a good idea to do, but sometimes it's gotta do what you gotta do. Time extension. This tends to be the worst for me. 5 seconds the younger people might not notice this, but the bar will be longer than 60 seconds. So if you're doing this, you don't need as much energy. So it takes me a lot longer to get something done when I have 6 seconds on the clock and I hit 0 mode. I still don't have enough time to get back to 0 mode. So that's just weird. Magic bubbles also sometimes appear with the time extension clock thingy that you see inside, which gives you an additional 2 seconds if you're lucky to get them. And then there's also Piglet. He's one of the crappiness Tsums. His skill also extends time. Every time you reach it, it activates automatically, which is pretty handy, But Piglet's not that great. Next we have instant replacement. What does that mean? The moment you clear a chain, you get a replacement Tsum that you cannot see, but the moment you finish your chain, new ones will fall from the top. This used to matter a lot before they nerfed the range that you can actually pop Tsums, so people could abuse Jack and Stitch, but not so much anymore. They put a zone that you cannot touch them. Next, we have variable connection range. This means depending on how the Tsums are oriented, their range is longer or shorter. It's longer when there are gaps between them. If there are no gaps, the range is very short. Very, very short. The same applies to the gigantic ones. So if you have a gap between a gigantic one to another gigantic one, you can pretty much connect them across the board. Pretty amazing. We also have the Phantom Tsum effect. It looks like there's invisible space in your board when you're clearing a gigantic chain, because until the entire chain pops, it will acknowledge its existence, which is kind of creepy and dumb at the same time. But if you have a magic bubble, then that's a perfect time to use it. Ooh, been 5 minutes already. Burst effect. Popping a magic bubble, as I just mentioned, will clear all Tsums in an active chain. That's probably more of an advanced skill, but a good FYI for you beginners. All burst skills, i.e. Tsums that blow crap up when you press the skill button, will also do the same thing. So if you have a really long chain, you use a burst skill, voila voila, everything gets blown up, including what the skill normally blows up. And then burst skills also have an extra thing going for them. Every time you use them, it freezes time. Another reason why your game lasts much longer than 1 minute, because if you get a really fancy ones, you know, like Luke Skywalker, some other stuff, it just takes like 4 seconds or something for the animation to go through. That just adds 4 seconds to your game, so you might want to stay away from ones that have a very long animation, because that just adds a lot of empty time into your play, especially if you're farming for coins. Combo maintenance. Longer chains and bigger combos obviously mean more points, but how long do you have between chains before your combo breaks? That's about 4 seconds, but also the higher the combo you have, the faster it will break. So around maybe 100 or so, the window you have to make a new chain goes down to 2 seconds, which is a very short time. So if you want to help yourself out, save some magic bubbles, so if you don't have time to look for something, you can always just pop the magic bubble when you panic. Also, if you have a long chain, that helps you too. The longer your chain, the longer it takes for it to pop, and as long as there's an active chain going, your combo will not break. The time starts the moment your last chain clears. So, if that doesn't make any sense to you, it will the more you play the game. Combo timer suspension. That's the good stuff. Every time you enter fever mode, there's no way for your combo to break. So you can make as long of a combo you like, you can plan as long as you like, but keep in mind the more crap that you get done in fever mode, the better your score will be. So whichever you can do. If you can do a really long chain really fast, do that. As far as coins are concerned, you can only get coins starting from chains of 4 and higher. So if you do 3, which is the minimum, you get no coins. If you get 4, you get 1 coin. If you do 5, you get 2 coins. And the more you add, the more coins you get. And every single one counts. I kid you not. Once you start getting past 30, every Tsum is going to be worth a lot of coins. So you want to get as many as you possibly can. All the time. Multi-chaining. There's no limit to how many chains you can make simultaneously. However, if you're not in fever mode, this can be quite cumbersome, because then you have an entire board filled with phantom Tsums that you can't do anything with, and they clear in the order that you make them. So keep a magic bubble handy in cases where you're multi-chaining, because just popping one of those magic bubbles will get you back into fever mode in no time. Chain leashing. As long as you have your finger or stylus on the screen, your chain will not activate. That is very handy because sometimes you want to backtrack, because it's really, really worth it to backtrack. If you play the game enough, you'll know what I mean. It's like sometimes when you're swiping really fast, it does not exactly connect the way you want it to, and then it stops connecting. So you have to backtrack a little, and it pays off a lot. As for undoing a chain, if you already have like 9 strung together, that is really cumbersome because you have to backtrack all the way to the second one. Otherwise it's gonna pop. So try to make sure if you're gonna backtrack, you better decide before you get more than 4 or 5, because backtracking is pretty difficult in this game. You usually end up adding more to your chain than undoing your chain. You can also crisscross if you have a really large cluster or some other thing, so that also saves you time. Try crisscrossing in the event that you make a little bit of a mistake, so that way you don't have to backtrack. You can just crisscross. And lastly, we have Blast Away. If you have a premium Tsum and your skill's active, you better freaking make sure that you press the skill button before the game ends, because you are not going to get as many coins in the roulette. And sometimes the roulette really screws you over and gets you like 2 coins. So chances are you're much better off using your skill. Oh, I guess I did skip something. If you're new to the game, the giant ones are your friends. They're very clunky, but they're worth 5 points. Not 5 points, 5 Tsums. So if you have a My Tsum and you connect it to a gigantic one, the minimum you can get is 7. Alright, I think that about does it for this little intro to Secrets of the Tsum. If I didn't cover something, pretty basic, because I think a lot of the FAQ and stuff like that is covered in this episode, but if it's not, just let me know. Feel free to write down comments and everything like that. In the meantime, happy Tsum Tsuming.